Okay, we're up on top of the mountain, the palaces. Right up on top, this is the old palace. This is where Princess Grace used to live, the film star that married the prince. It's her palace, or his palace, or their palace. Golden Bay cannons sitting out the front with a stack of cannonballs. Alright, the people over there still watching the race. 7 years, it's like a big square, buildings all the way around it. The seagull sitting on the statue with a couple of bloody pigeons.
Here comes some other little cars coming out wrong. Look.
I'm hard to believe it.
People down there.
Con do this.
That's the racetrack down there. Everywhere you go, you get an advantage point. Just give an eye at some of these boats down here and how big they are. The whole wharf down there, that's just chock-a-block. Huge and massive cruises. I'll give you an idea where we're staying. Hotel. Just next to that big tower, which is the casino. So we're staying somewhere in there. Give you an idea. Actually, I think we're staying somewhere in there, where those rooms are. Basically overlooks the whole waterfront. This is the other side of the palace. They'll ever go out these cruises down there. Bloody helicopter hanging over there. Bloody helicopters floating all over the place here. It's probably these black birds you've been chasing all the time. Yeah, weird looking thing. It's like a bloody magpie with a long tail. We've got a professional copper over here with a blue hat. Something must be happening. We must have royalty coming up because they've stopped us from walking across Monte Carlo beach area. We're going to go down to it. Have a quick look around before we head off to Italy today. And that is Monte Carlo beach area supposedly. Don't see too much sand, just a pile of rocks and rubble. No, I don't think that's it. No, it's not our hotel.
Someone's camping down there.
It's very close to our hotel. Monte Carlo Bay Hotel. Very, very plush hotels here. This is right down the bottom.
Not yet, soon. Yeah, you reckon?
Monte Carlo foreshore. There's a little beach in there. Oh, look, there's a beach. There's a beach there.
What's that?
Another hotel. All very flash. Gardens. Where the race cars come down around that corner over there. That's our hotel. Right around the block to get out of this place. Hotel there with cacti out the front of it. Leaving Monte Carlo, we've got to climb up those mountains there to get out of this place.
Look at that racing car.
Got a resort up here just perched out over here. This cliff.
Well, we have a little bit of climbing to do. If you're on the right hand side, you're able to look up.
So we stayed down there, somewhere down in there, on the waterfront. Working our way up that face. That's Monte Carlo. Club Med.
The wind star, the wind sun, the winds.
This is just outside of Monaco, heading towards the Italian border. That's the last view of Monaco. So, that's the last view of Monaco.
Vocabulary, because they certainly don't worry about it. They put off plenty of things until tomorrow, but it's not something that Federico Fellini was la dolce vita. La dolce vita. If you pick up a menu in Italy, the very last section is dolci, desserts, sweets. La dolce vita is the sweet life. And it's a state of mind. The Italians place emphasis not on building the biggest house or having the most money in the bank about that. The fact that they can go shopping on a Sunday, for instance, in certain places. Some people think that should be just sacred still.
Alps.
And not just for religious reasons, but again, to
Stop for morning tea at a roadside cafe in Italy. On our way Pisa. French Alps, which run into Italy. Still driving into Italy, but there's just miles of tunnels ever since we sort of left Marzolano.
Now, of course, the Italians are known for their engineering feats of long ago.
Still going towards Tuscany, and what we have is lots and lots of water. Didn't know what we do when you were lost in Northern Australia, but the countryside is full of water. What we think of next? The port of Genoa.
Including with the Australian Parliament House, along with Chillago Rumble.
Good girl. Yeah. Oh, how exciting. Oh. Wow. How?
Looks like that's a refinery over there. Look at the tanks all stacked on the hill. What do you reckon that is? City of Genoa. We're going over a very big bridge at the moment. That's down at the other side of the bus.
Yes, we went.
That's the bridge we just came over. Sorry, bridge. Yeah.
Val, I'm in.
Whether they win or lose, enjoy the interest. I do know that we haven't won since Slaughter. But then that new element got into Hollywood. Wait, yeah, I don't know what he does to get all these back there.
Big chunks of marble chopped out of the mountains. We've arrived here at I think it's where the Leaning Tower of Pisa is. There's this great wall here. You can go inside, and there's just lots of markets everywhere. Markets. Go outside and have a look. The entrance over here. We go through here. Look at the square here. Going through this tower, and there's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Just there.
언니 힘들어갖고 나 먼저 뛰어온다고.
We're going to take a walk down and have a look at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That's the cathedral. One of the cathedrals, there's another one there. It's got some beautiful stained doors and stuff on it. This is the side of this church. It looks like it's sunk as well. All sort of leaning downwards. These are the buildings opposite the square. They've got to be really old as well. They've got food stalls and stuff. Lots of markets.
Well, you got all of it. Half of that. No straight ways. I'll do another one if you like. No, I got it.
This is the bottom of the tower. You can see where they've been working on it. That's it. People up the top.
But you? Yeah. Can you get in line here? I'll get in line, but you don't have to.
You see where it's cracking and stuff. This is another one from the side where it's leaning. Just to give you some sort of real perspective. Certainly got a real angle on it. We only had 30 people in at a time. Give you an idea of the angle of this thing. That's the base that's coming out of the ground. That's the base of this thing where it's actually coming out of the ground. Look at the bloody angle of angle on this thing. The people outside the gate here look like all dressed up in silver frost. This is the thing that took us up to the Pisa. You guys are about 400 mile bloody hour and you threw us all out the bloody door.
Our hotel is situated. And when we arrive in Montecatini, we actually have the people of
On our way to
Montecatini will be doing just that.
Montecastini is where we're staying
A passeggiata, an evening stroll. Montecatini is actually a spa town. People go there for the Terme, T-E-R-M-E, where we get our word thermal, the thermal baths. People go for their health, not just, but it gives you an idea of how the water was brought from the mountains away to our right-hand side. The Apennine Mountains.
We're away to Florence today. Raining. Rain all day. We're still on our way to Florence, doing all the back streets, the back towns, seeing some new buildings, not many, most was very old. Still raining. Very pretty countryside, just whereby you're in Australia. Cases.
So much fun.
Here we are at the wall. It's out of the road. Alright. And we're going up through there. Well done, look at you. Not bucking down rain, but we all got umbrellas and stuff. Drizzle, drizzle. We're going to walk through the town of St George, whatever they call it. That's the gate where we came in. There's a stuffed pig in the doorway. With a chunk of corn in his gob. And there's another one outside a boo shop. Walked up to this doorway. In the doorway is this bloody thing waiting there to greet us. It's a bloody werewolf. It goes down to a museum. It's all skulls. Whole hallways lined with bloody skulls. Don't want to go in there. He looks like a ferocious looking beast. This is looking back down the square. Found another shop with bloody pigs' heads and pigs' gizzards and stuff in there. Yeah, we're going to go into the square and have a look at the tower. That's up with the WC up there. This is up into the main square. Right, this is the main square over here. There's another tower. There's another tower there. And it keeps going up. There's another tower there. There's another tower up there. Well, this place is old, really old. It goes back to the 13th century, I think. I think Andrew was saying this place is 2,500 years old when it was first settled. I went back and work out. Found a wishing well. Everyone's throwing their bucks in there. People up there getting married in the main square. That's the church. There's the bride. We'll be in the Vino tonight. This is the other square. Yeah. Okay, we've been up into the city. We've can't even think of the name of the place now. Sangagati, whatever it's called. The castle. And this is the countryside that it overlooks. Just stopped raining temporarily. Very pretty countryside, very much like the south coast. Down Wollongong way, but there's all vineyards and stuff. And olive tree plantations.
Your friend helped me buy.
Anyway, so
I saw some lovely jewellery, but it was 20
Domingo.
and then I walked out of the shop because I just gave him $8 and walked out of the shop. She walked too short.
We'll meet up. We'll have radio receivers. Make sure that you bring it together with the guide and doing a short walking. Bit of a sad story that the monastery has, after selling, they have sold to one of the international hotel chains. I think it's Intercontinental.
Castle thing up there on the mountains. Still their way to Florence.
If you follow follow it down to the left there, we would end up in Pisa again.
Oh, it is Pisa.
It pours out into the Mediterranean, just to the east of Pisa, to the west of Pisa. There was some.
I believe we're going into Florence. This is tree-lined avenue next to a river. Heading into Florence. Pretty cracky. It's raining.
Hazy enough to obscure the buildings down below, so bring your camera with you.
Michelangelo Square.
And we will, a number of people have asked already about how we're going to have the opportunity to take a group.
Alright, this is looking over Florence. That's the river. The name of the river. That's where the dynasty of this area used to live. That's just the largest, used to be the largest church in the world. And the river is called Arno. And what we have behind us in the square is statue of David. We'll go and have a look at it in a minute. Looking down at the river. And River Arno. Back on it there. And here. Raining, and must be a lot of rain in the area. It's flowing pretty good. And that's the city of Florence. Population of 500,000, I thought he said. Which are not very many. There'll be a lot more than that. And what we've got here is a bronze statue of David. In the rain. So I can go up and read the inscription. And the inscription is Michelangelo Buonarroti. That's who the sculptor was.
Wait, you guys, come on.
Alright, I have to do just going to take one more shot of Florence. Very that bridge down there, it's full of shops. They sell gold. And the shops there. That's a palace where some family used to live, used to run the country. It's up this neck of the woods, lots of power. And again, it's the largest, used to be the largest church in the world. Certainly a very good church. Okay, that's right. There's another church in there. There's a big church in there to look at. Not that big though. There's some big dome. Cobbles down there. Some square with monument. We're coming to the square in front of the church. It's still in Florence. We've come across a horse and cart. A couple of horse and carts here. This is the church. I've got to go in there shortly and come back and do a bit more photography. I'm going to head off down here and have some lunch, maybe a nice pizza. I've done a bit of shopping, we've walked around and come back down to the cathedral. It's raining still. This used to be the second largest, or used to be the largest church in the world. Huge bloody tower. Unbelievable. Big. Looks like a fort down here just outside of Florence. Big wall around it. Florence. If you didn't know any better, you would say you're in Spain, Barcelona, or one of the cities. Very much the same. Could even be in London. Very much the same in these places. Nice gardens. Cars are similar. Buildings are similar.
And so luggage collection will be at 7:30. Breakfast available from 7.
Still in Florence. Any flash buildings here? Looks like they're still building this place. Could be a mall. Big mall going up or something. Very flash. Apartments there. And it continues on down through there. On our way back to the hotel from Florence, and what we're looking at is miles and miles of cultivated plants for the nurseries. And this is where they grow them all, cultivate them. There's just miles of this stuff. All sorts of different plants.
Where we are.
On our way to Rome today. Down to via Siena. Bloody old building up there. Old buildings. That is a weird looking church. On our way to Siena before we go. Well, we've come to Siena, and there's this ancient fort and a township built within inside the walls. And we're taking a walk up to the main square. And it's starting to rain again. Walking through the square, and looks like we've come across another church of some description. We're heading down that way. Walking down the narrow alleyways. San Marco, is it? Right. Just looking back the other way.
You may as well be frightened too, Cheryl.
Hey?
You may as well be frightened to clean it, but it might
Yes.
Fall apart.
cover it up completely.
Okay, this is the main square. This huge massive tower, isn't it? Very bloody massive. Very gothic. And they have horse races here twice a year against different districts.
Carolyn, and I do a bareback.
This whole area dates back to the 13th century.
I think on the board is up there. That's it. But it's moving on.
There's a bunch of guys down there. Got a banner down there and they're waving flags and they're honking horns and this is a fountain or a pool.
With the spikes.
Pigeons and money in there. Down another bell tower on the way back to the bus. Got trees growing out of it and there's grass on the roof. Still on our way to Rome. We're about an hour out. Sheep. They're Italian sheep. Some old ruins up there.
But not only is the town of Orte still inhabited, but we still see the remains of the earliest of the settlements before any of these buildings were constructed. We see that there are actually caves which have been dug out.
Bridge Road, entering room. Let's see, fast train station. Outside. It's a railway line. Maybe it's not. No, maybe it's not. Just a couple of buildings that look all fancy, but I thought they might have been railway stations.
And Count Cavour and Victor Emmanuel, who became a 19th century statesman. tomorrow afternoon. If you want to head down this way, and our hotel is just down the street. That St. Angel's Bridge, look, that bridge is 18 centuries old. That's St. Peter's.
Oh, there it is. Look.
St. Peter's.
Sistine Chapel, and then the Basilica of St. Peter to get blessed. So in the afternoon you'll feel my...
That building's where the Roman soldiers used to live. This is the old part of town where the legions used to live. Church of St. Augustus. Back in the medieval times, the Romans still standing and used.
Projecting columns or little roofs, pediments and things. About 80 years after that. 80 years. This way. We're going now.
1500 as well.
Of the Roman times, in absolute 80% of it is here. And I try to explain to you why. Absolutely fine, elegant, and the vulgar supporting structures of the roof. First of November, 1st of November became the Church of Our Lady. Saints, orders, martyrs, all. Look up the top. 1st of November. That's why all saints. 2nd of November, All Souls Day. Lovely. Has been
Chapel
have stolen the
Michelangelo
body
is
of
very
the
over
and taken it back. If you want to see it.
The place is 750 years BC.
Stay with me.
25 feet thick. These are the foundations of this Colosseum. See how far down the foundations go.
Perfect.
These columns are really bloody old.
Piazza
Chunks of them. That's what it used to look like. Easy.
It is really an anthill. Anthill? That looks like an anthill. Right here, the big many people.
Trevi Fountain is a really old Roman building. Some weird antiquity.
Perfectly preserved. Both of them were crowned by peculiar statues. The refunders of the Christian Rome, Peter and Paul. Rome had two mythical founders, Romulus and Remus. But then, in 1st century AD, Peter and Paul came to Rome, spent their last days in here.
People square down here with a guy on a horse.
Capital city of Italy. And the story
100
was over.
billion, 3 centuries
1870.
before Christ. So old it is.
Till that moment, every single pagan item could have been considered simply a quarry of gold.
Here's the day home. That's the obelisk again. On the other side, the sun. These buildings were all built back in the days of Christ and stuff. They're all modified, but the basis is all still the same. Unbelievable. This is Parliament House.
The old ones were organized somehow for the assistance, social assistance, and the Pope had been there. It may not go past that. Otherwise, they well, even if
Another bloody obelisk, like a Trevi Fountain again. Building behind it, I don't know what it is. Holy dooly. This is a square where we've got music and God knows what going on here. Just come into a church. This is unbelievable. Just the ceiling up there is incredible. Well, the next day, first day in Rome. And we're going to Vatican City now. After the beach flight to breakfast. People going in here tonight.
but don't worry.
This is the entrance to Vatican City. And the queues are ridiculous. The queues are everywhere. Alright, we're going to enter the city. Through here, through some revolving doors, security. This is the entrance into the Vatican. This massive escalator. Right, this is the courtyard inside Vatican City. Come out through there. It's the first radio station in the world. This building was built in 1527. Tapestry room now. This tapestry is about the assassination of Caesar.
Before he could say, stop, it's enough. And that was the cruel end of the Republican era. Yes, but he's adopted.
This is another room. This one's so long.
8% close to the reality. Dear friends, no GPS can make them. One satellite, only the moon, offering always the same place. Then, after a technical point of view, this is a fantastic order. This Wait, you don't.
This is the main chapel.
Separated mainly sides are enriched above and below by statues. There were the hundreds of the great Catholic orders, which simply means when you walk along the grass, they take hold of these orders chapels. Originally was a something else. Originally was a symbol of peace. Pacific Park. 1819, signed by Lincoln. Few steps ahead.
This is for the Stuart family.
Pope Paul V wanted to